All right, I have strip pieced all of my fabric. This is the background fabric in the middle with the sashing fabric sewn onto either side. And you remember the other day, I knew I was short some of the background fabric, and that wasn't a problem with the pattern. It was just, I just didn't quite have enough fabric. But I remembered I had half of a jelly roll strip of that fabric. So I was able to cut all my squares from that. So that is a good example of why you always cut the biggest pieces first, because it's easier to figure out a way to get the smaller pieces than it is to figure out a way to get the bigger pieces. All right, so I've got 7 of these, and they are going to be massively in the way, so I'm moving those. I'm going to show you how to subcut. First, make sure there's nothing under your fabric, because you will cut through that too. Okay, so this is made, I think, way easier by the Stripology ruler. And I'm not trying to make you buy that ruler. I am just, honestly, it is what I use. Okay, so then one of the reasons I like this is because I want to make sure when I'm cutting that this horizontal line is lined up with my seam, so that I'm always cutting a straight line. I don't worry about lining it up with both seams, because I'm just going to hope that I sewed it well enough that it doesn't, that it, if it's lined up with one, it'll be lined up with the other. By the way, I press all my seams open. So this is what my seams look like on the other side. All right, so I'm just going to cut this, squares it up, and then I'm just cutting it every, well, you can't see. The thing I first liked most about the Stripology ruler was how easy it made squaring up your edge. It's still one of my favorite things about the ruler, but I now have many favorite things. Okay. So this takes, you know, a little bit of time, but it's much faster than piecing all of these individually. And every time I move my ruler, I square up the edge again. So I'm always wanting to make sure that that's nice and square. Phew. All right. They are all cut. So now I have lots and lots of these guys. And I'm actually going to lay my quilt out before I start doing any pieces. It's basically just to avoid keep myself from making any errors, because I hate picking seams out. And we will get started with our sewing.